this a backpack? Just because you strap something to your back, does that make it a backpack? Or maybe is a backpack something that's a little more like, you know, a backpack? That's the big question that I think we got to answer as we look at the PYRODRONE FPV Backpack. I'm Joshua Bardwell. You're going to learn something today. I'm not really, I'm playing it up for the camera. I'm fine. Roll the intro. The product you're about to see me review, the PYRODRONE Backpack Pro, was purchased by me with my own money. However, after I did that, without asking me, PYRODRONE refunded the payment. So I guess this was sent to me by PYRODRONE in exchange for the review. I've not received any other money or other compensation in exchange for this review, and nobody has had any approval over the things that I say in this video. One of the first things people notice about the PYRODRONE FPV Backpack is its enormous size, at least for a backpack. Let me just get it side by side with the Torvol backpack here, and you can see immediately. This is it a backpack? When I first got it and put it on my back, I kind of felt like, you know, Norman Reedus' character from the video game Death Stranding, where he just has a zillion boxes packed onto his back to the sky. And I thought, just because you can put something on your back, does that really make it a backpack? Well, how you feel about that question is going to have a lot to do with how much you like or dislike this bag. I think this bag is actually in some ways the spiritual successor to the think tank FPV, the backpack Paul Nurkel uses. It's just a giant rectangle full of stuff. Let's just start with the outside of this bag and work our way in. So we'll start here with this lacing on the back. You can use that to stuff quadcopters in or whatever you like, although with a bag this size, you would hope that you would be able to store everything you need on the inside. At least that's what a lot of people are going to do. I like the fact that the lacing goes all the way across, so you have a lot of flexibility here. It's not like the Torvol bag, where you basically have 1, 2, that's it. What about this space in the middle? Sorry, I hope you didn't want to stick anything there. We've got all these laces all the way across and a single thing, I don't know what that's called, a single thing to kind of hold it all together and cinch it up. Doesn't hold it, could be holding it tighter. Doesn't seem like it's really doing very much there. No, it really isn't. Oh well. It's also got molly webbing here if you want to strap something to the outside there. The next place I suppose we'll go is these outside pockets. These pockets zip open. This one has a little key ring on the inside with a detachable clip. You could put your keys on there, obviously, but you're probably not going to leave your keys with your backpack. You can put anything else you like. I used to keep an SD card holder attached to something like this, just so it always was where I knew it. This is fairly well padded on the inside, and there's another one of these pockets down here at the bottom. And it kind of leaves me wondering what the intended use of these pockets is, because you can see the way that they open up. It totally makes sense when the bag is laying flat on its back. But if you had just put the bag down and it was sitting up like this, it's really nice to have a pocket on the outside that you can have stuff you can get at quickly. And if you open it from this side, it really seems just like everything's going to fall out. So it seems like the point of this pocket is only to be accessible or mostly to be accessible when the bag is laying flat, which kind of seems like a wasted opportunity. If the zipper had gone maybe along the top or something, it could be useful in both ways. Not sure how much use I'm going to get out of these. You got to ask yourself, what am I only going to want to get at when the bag is laying flat and closed? Working our way inside, we now come to this pouch. There's an outer pouch, and it seems like this is pretty clearly intended to hold a laptop. There's a sleeve here. Sides. It definitely will hold a 15-inch laptop, but boy, not much more than that. It is not as roomy as some other laptop sleeves that I've seen. We've also got a web section here and a section here with a strap. And all the luggage I've ever had, they have a strap like this for holding your clothes down. I guess if you were to stuff like a folded shirt or something in here. You also, if you had a bigger laptop, you certainly could just stuff that laptop right in here, and then a 17-inch would definitely fit. Now, I've got to confess that this is not my favorite way of handling a laptop sleeve, but on a backpack this big, that may be the best way to do it. If we look at the Torvol has its laptop sleeve up here at the top, and it puts the laptop up against your back. The AULine does the same thing, except the laptop is available from the side. Maybe it makes it a little easier to get it out without taking the backpack off. But in both cases, the laptop is placed up against your back. It's well padded, because the back is always padded on a backpack because you want comfort against your back. And it is protected from impacts. I would always be a little concerned with this type of backpack that, like, in an impact or something, the laptop wouldn't be as protected as it could be. Over here, we've got some webbing that you could hook anything you wanted to. The backpack is just full of that stuff. We're not even really going to be able to show it all. We've got straps here, and I'm not 100% sure I understand the purpose of these straps. Certainly they could be used to, like, just cinch the pack down and tighten it up. I guess that's fine. Normally, they might be used to hold something to the outside, like a tripod, but there isn't like any webbing or anything here to hold the bottom of the tripod. And I'm not sure I would trust these. Just, I guess you could cinch it down, but it seems kind of iffy to me. If we open those up, we can see these side pouches here. They do not have, they're very roomy. They do not have any additional internal dividers or anything. They have plenty of space to hold stuff you might want to get at. I'm super annoyed that that's not a double zipper. I always want these things to be double zippers, because if they're double zippers, you can have one zipper here and one zipper here, and you can open it from the top when it's laying flat. If it's only got a single zipper, you don't have any flexibility there. Same thing here. If we turn this around, you can see on the other side, the first thing that's going to surprise a lot of people is that we have a carry handle here. This is not removable. And I guess if you wanted to treat this like luggage instead of a backpack, you could. And in fact, it also, I got a lot of stuff in there. It also has straps, hooks here for a shoulder strap. Again, if you want to treat it more like luggage. I can't imagine when I would rather have it over my shoulder than on my actual back, but maybe more power to you. We've also got another zipper compartment, but in order to get at it, you're really going to want to open that up. It's a little annoying. Great big freaking zipper compartment here for your use. One thing I feel like I want to mention is that on these straps, they've got these little retainers here, these plastic retainers for the loose end, but they're kind of useless because they just are so loose that they slide around. So normally that would be like something with some tension on it so it doesn't move, but like here, you can see it just immediately moves, which is kind of annoying. It seems poorly thought out. And these straps, you kind of got to open them up if you're going into this one. And you have to open this up if you're going into that one. So on the back side here, we have the shoulder straps. And interestingly, the shoulder straps disconnect if you want them to. They come off. There's a little spring-loaded clip here, and they can tuck down inside and zip away if you want to convert it into a shoulder bag or a piece of luggage. Might be nice if you were gonna check this, which I mean I don't think you should. If you were going to check this on an airplane, being able to put the shoulder straps away so they don't get snagged on things perhaps could be nice. Or if there's some reason why looking like you're carrying luggage instead of a backpack would be desirable, I don't know. As far as fit and comfort goes, for something of this size, and then once you pack it up, weight, it's pretty comfortable. One of the things I find is that the back is kind of large and wide and stiff. And so it does a really good job of distributing the load across your back. I'm not sure how to explain it. Some people would argue that a pack that is this big is going to be heavy enough that you would want a waist strap. It doesn't come with a waist strap, and it does seem like maybe you could clip a waist strap here if you wanted to. As far as the chest strap goes, it feels to me like it's a little low. This is as high up as it goes, and it's kind of across my nipples, whereas normally I find a chest strap rides a little higher. You can set it even lower. It goes all the way down here, basically across my diaphragm, and I don't think that's how backpacking chest straps are supposed to go, but I don't know. The back of the PYRODRONE bag is relatively flat and wide and rigid, and if you compare it to a backpack that is more human-sized and fits more into the small of your back, I think what you're going to find is that if you had to do like really long walks with the Pyro Pack, it's like putting on a new shoe and the shoe isn't broken in yet. And at first it feels maybe okay, but then after you walk in it for a while, you're like, oh, this was a big mistake. It feels like this is the kind of thing that feels okay for short periods of time, but especially if it's very, very heavy, and especially if you're carrying it for a longer period of time, you might want something that fits sort of your human body a little more than like a great big square. Well, okay, let's get on the inside, and that's accessed through this zipper. It conveniently has a great big zipper pull, so out of all these freaking zippers, you can easily, well, that's the one I want. And, oh, yeah, so you gotta unbuckle these things before you get in. So be it. And away we go. This, I think, is the real beauty of this pack. It is so big, and you can put so much stuff in it. If you have a backpack and every time you load it out for a trip, there's always 7 more things that you wished you could put into it that you end up strapping to the outside of the pack or putting in a different bag, and you're like, this is the pack for you. It's so big. Look what I have in here. And when I put stuff into the AULine bag for the AULine review, one person said, oh, you're just showing off all the stuff you've got. How do you show off a backpack without showing what it can hold, right? We got 1, 2, 3 sets of goggles. My Fat Shark, my Orca, my Fat Shark Shark Bite with my Orca, and my DJIs. We've got 2 controllers, my DJI controller and my Radio Master. Got some tools here. I got some battery stuff down in here, plenty of room there. I got just a bunch of GoPros. I got a battery charger in there. I got a quadcopter. I wanted to show you guys, do quadcopters fit on the inside? Maybe, yes. Like for example, this guy is not too long and it will totally fit inside with almost no problem. We could get 2, maybe 3 of them in there. On the other hand, if we compare to, this is the Rotorite HD1, which is just a little bigger, especially with these antennas hanging off the back, it's gonna struggle. Like you might get it in sideways if you made room for the antennas. No, this is not gonna fit. So you're gonna be strapping your bigger quads on the outside, but anything from like a compact 5-inch on down is easily going to fit in the inside if that's what you want. Some modules, there's just so much room. Here, we've got these 2 zippered mesh components, or compartments, 1 and 2. Put whatever you like in there, and a clear compartment here, which I like to use for props. Now, PYRODRONE has made a choice here that some people are going to love, but as you can see, I'm personally not using it. They've got loops on basically all of these dividers for tools. And I know there are people out there, like I know Paul Nerkel uses it like this, and a lot of people like to just put all their tools right here, and then you reach into the bag for the tool you need, and you pull it out. There's definitely some appeal to that. You can see that I've got my tools in a separate bag, and the reason for that is that I'm not always working on my quadcopter where my bag is. I don't want to carry this whole thing around or constantly be going back to it to get tools. I just want to be able to grab my tools and go. And so I keep my tools in a separate pouch for that reason. But it's very nice that they're there, and it certainly doesn't hurt. The other thing we'll point out is that 2 of these dividers have a Velcroed compartment, which you can put small things in. So that brings us to the end of the video, and as always, the question, which one should you get? And I've got the AULine and the Torvol Pit Stop Pro here, and I think these 3 are the main contenders if you're looking for an FPV bag today. By the way, I know there's $45 military backpacks you can get out there that are fantastic. And more power to you if that's what the direction you swing. But these bags are tailored in the same way that like a camera or photography bag is. They're tailored towards a certain use. If you get a general purpose backpack, a lot of times you have to put all your stuff, you can't just toss your controller and your goggles in and let them shake around. And that adds a layer of complexity and takes up space in the bag. So that's the argument for a bag like this. There are other backpacks out there that have been made, like the Betaflight Hive and the Low Pro Quad Guard and the Think Tank FPV Helipack. That's the one, I think. As far as I can tell, all these bags are out of production or out of stock. So I think these three are the ones that you're going to be looking at if you're looking for an FPV bag today. The PYRODRONE bag, I think it's going to be pretty divisive. If you need a bag that's carry-on capable, this is too big to carry onto an airplane. By the way, I heard a rumor that they're going to be making a slightly smaller version of this that is carry-on approved, but if you do a lot of air travel, it doesn't seem like this is going to be the bag for you. Fortunately, these days, a lot of us are doing a lot less air travel than we used to, so maybe that's a plus. If you need to carry all your junk, it is a great choice. If you insist on having your quadcopters inside the bag instead of hanging off the outside, it is a great choice. There are some things about it that I think might steer you towards one of the others, and let's take just a few minutes and go a little deeper into that. Overall, I feel like the build quality of this, it feels very luggage-ish. It's got waterproof zippers, so it doesn't need a waterproof cover. And overall just generally feels very sturdy. I haven't noticed any of the seams ripping out. I've done some tugging and pulling on zippers and stuff to see if any of them fell apart, and they didn't. It's only a sample size of one, but it seems like whoever PYRODRONE has building this knows what they're doing. One of the downsides of this bag for me is that on the inside, and on the outside too, it is sort of Spartan, it's sort of plain. Like I said at the beginning, it's just a great big rectangle that you put your stuff in. They've made some effort towards organization with these zipper pouches, but let me show you the Torvol and you'll see how they did it. Here in the Torvol, a whole lot more effort has been made to let the backpack be the container for all your stuff. That sounds dumb when I say it. What I mean is, there's these pouches here and here and here. Every single one of these dividers has a separate pouch, which means that if there's small items that you want to have quickly at hand, you don't want them just rattling around in the backpack, you can stuff them down in there and it's like, oh, where's my battery checker? Zoop, just reach in there and get it. And I use that a lot and I miss it when I'm working out of the, by the way, I've been working out of the PYRODRONE backpack for about a week or two whenever I received it. The same is true up here. Here on this flap, we've got a little container here. What do you put there? I don't know. It's actually magnetized, I think, to hold, it's supposed to be magnetized to hold little screws and stuff. We've also got this flip out thing here, which you can put stuff in, right? I freaking love, this is my favorite pouch in the whole Torvol. I freaking love it. You got 1, 2 small pouches here. So I'll typically put like my camera batteries, this camera right here. So if I'm out and I'm shooting and I need to get a fresh battery for my camera, boom, right here. I don't have to dig around at all. You got all these little subdividers here, right? And there has to be a balance struck between giving you the flexibility to do it how you want and giving you predetermined dividers. And I feel like the Torvol strikes that balance really, really well. But whichever one of these bags you decide is the best one for you, please take a look down in the video description where I have affiliate links to all of these products. The way those work is if you make any purchase at the affiliated store after you click that link, I get a small commission. So you don't want to buy a backpack, click the link, go buy something else. It's an easy way for you to support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Which one do you think is the best? Which one are you most excited about and why? I would like to hear from you in the comments. And if you own one of these bags and have some additional insight, I definitely would like to hear from you, and so would everybody else who's watching this video and trying to decide. Thank you so much for watching. Happy flying. Do you see this baby? Isn't he cute? Hit the subscribe button. Join my Patreon. Use my affiliate links. or just keep watching videos. That's better than nothing.
Google Gaga, subscribe to my daddy.